Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is coming after a little bit of a hiatus. I took a couple of weeks vacation out of the province, and even though I filmed a bunch of videos to upload while I was gone, I was just too tired while I was on vacation to even think about making thumbnails or writing the little descriptions or anything else like that. So it ended up being a little bit of a break, but I am going into August feeling very invigorated, very excited about my TBR, and excited about the small backlog of reviews and videos that I have ready to put up on the channel. So hopefully there will be lots of interesting content coming up to round out the end of the summer. But today I am here to talk about my August TBR. I have made this, I say like a little bit shorter, but I'm pretty sure there's still 10 books on here. It's just that a couple of them are from the same series, and I'm giving myself a little bit of wiggle room with that series. If I end up enjoying book one, then I'm thinking maybe I'll want to go on and binge the rest of them. So I left a little bit of room there, but lots of books that I'm really looking forward to reading. The first one I'll talk about is the buddy read for the channel, and that is Hyperion. So this is a science fiction classic that I have not yet read and I've been looking forward to for a long time. And when I did my little poll of books people wanted to read together, or at least wanted to see me read and talk about on the channel, Hyperion came out at the very top. The tentative goal right now is to read Hyperion this month and then read the second volume, which I think is the Fall of Hyperion, maybe? I'm not 100% sure, but book two. I have been told that book one doesn't feel as satisfying as reading books 1 and 2 together. So the plan will be to read book 1 in August and then hopefully get to book 2, provided that I enjoy book 1, in September. Otherwise, I am also reading, although much slower than I had hoped, the new Jedi Order series, and I will be continuing with book 3 into August. To be honest, book 2 is probably going to bring me into August, but it's okay. I will continue with book 2 and then go on to book 3 in August. There are some other people on the channel who are reading it a little more quickly than I am, but it just feels nice to read Star Wars books along with people who are big fans of the series, and hopefully now that I have a little bit more time, I can be more active in discussing those. The other book that started off as a buddy read, excuse me, but has just continued as kind of just a read for myself, is the Dagger and Coin series by Daniel Abraham. I read book 1 in July, and I will save my thoughts for my wrap up, but I am going to be continuing with book 2 in that series in August, and that is called The King's Blood, I believe. I wrote it down here. Yes, The King's Blood. So book 2 of Dagger and Coin, and my hope for that series, which is a 5-book series, is to still continue with that 1 book a month. I have so many things that I'm reading simultaneously. Like, I think I would enjoy just reading through that series altogether, but there are tons of other series that I'm also in the middle of, or books that I really want to get to. So I don't think I'll be able to kind of read multiple Dagger and Coin books in 1 month, but you never know. The other big series that I am planning to finish off in August is the Live Ship Traders. So I skipped a month last month and did not get to Ship of Destiny, but it is my plan for August to finish out that trilogy. I absolutely loved the Mad Ship. Review still pending for that, but I do have a lot of things that I want to talk about, and I am looking forward to getting that one up. And then hopefully once I have finished Ship of Destiny, I can do some discussions, or maybe a discussion live or pre-recorded, I'm not sure, just about the trilogy as a whole. You know, what I liked, maybe talk to some other people who are big fans of the trilogy and get some of their feedback and figure out, you know, what we like that intersects, or maybe some of the different things that we appreciated about that brilliant trilogy. There are a couple of new releases that are coming up in August that I also really want to read. So R.F. Kuang's new release, Babel, is coming out. This is a little bit closer to the end of the month, and with shipping, I did pre-order this book, so with shipping to Newfoundland, I don't know when it's going to arrive. My hope is that the day that it arrives, I will be able to start it, but I really doubt that that will be release day. Usually it happens like a week or so after, but as soon as it arrives at my home, I want to read it. I'm really looking forward to this one. I enjoyed the Poppy War trilogy, even if I had some problems with it. I did think that R.F. Kuang evolved as a writer as she continued with that trilogy, and I am very much looking forward to reading this one because I think it integrates some of her experiences as a graduate student, and then also incorporates some really cool magic. And I appreciated some of the originality that was in the Poppy War trilogy. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens when R.F. Kuang really gets to flex her imaginative muscles. And I am guessing that Babel is going to be a book that I really fall in love with. Fingers crossed that that is the case. For some lighter fare, there's also a new romance release that comes out in August that I'm going to be reading, and this is called Husband Material by Alexis Hall. So Alexis Hall is a British author, and I have read a couple of his books, including Boyfriend Material, which is the first in this duology. I really enjoyed Boyfriend Material. I thought that the humor was very to my taste. It had a good balance of like heartwarming moments with kind of more angsty like relationship drama moments, but it didn't feel overly contrived. The setup of Boyfriend Material is a bit ridiculous in the way of romantic comedies, in that there are two people who are fake dating, which is a trope that I really like. And the dynamic between the two characters is kind of this like happy-go-lucky, very social person, and then a more reserved, closed-off individual. And I really like that dynamic, watching how they interact and how they grow close. So I really enjoyed Boyfriend Material, and I am looking forward to Husband Material. I think that it is going to be a great follow-up, and I have been excited to read it ever since it was announced. Finally, the trilogy that I was talking about at the beginning of the video is Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. And I know that this is a polarizing trilogy. I have some people who I talk to very often, who I'm close with, who say that this is super fun, very engaging. I'm going to enjoy it for what it is, and I will probably want to like binge through the series. I read Jay Kristoff's newer book, Empire of the Vampire, and I did really enjoy it for what it was. I think there was a bit of a bumpy start, and I did sometimes question the colorful curse words. I don't mind curse words. I curse too much. It is a problem. But some of it was really over the top, and I didn't always think that it was over the top in a funny way. Like, it was sometimes over the top in what I felt was like a little bit of a cringy way. But overall, I had positive thoughts on Empire of the Vampire. I enjoyed reading it, and I am hoping that I will enjoy Nevernight. There are some things that people have raised that I wonder about, and I want to experience for myself and see contextually how they are presented and where they fit in the narrative. And I honestly don't know how I'm going to feel about this series. I don't mind the writing style. I am expecting it to be a little bit edgy. I'm reading this with a couple of friends on Discord, and hopefully we will all enjoy it. If I don't enjoy it, that'll be fine. If I do enjoy it, I can enjoy things for the kind of like campy, fun, exciting books that they are. So if you have read Nevernight, then I would like to hear from you. Tell me if you liked it, if you hated it, some non-spoilery reasons on where you think I might fall and why. But I left enough room, hopefully, on this TBR to read the entire trilogy if I want to, because one thing that I will say about Empire of the Vampire is that it had that very fluid writing style that is very easy to binge. I read that book very quickly. It was very engaging, so I'm expecting that Nevernight will be much of the same. And so if I want to read through 3 books at once, then I can absolutely do so. And I believe those are all of the books. Nope, there was one book. See, I have to write them down. I'll never remember otherwise. The last book for the month is my nonfiction pick for the month. And this is a book that I actually picked up while I was away on vacation. One that I have been looking forward to reading for a really long time. And I feel like I say that about everything. Don't we all just have like a million books that we've been looking forward to reading for a really long time? But this is one that has intrigued me for a couple of years. So I have talked on the channel a couple of times about a book called The Truth About Animals. And it's this really fascinating book by a zoologist, a female zoologist, and it talks about animal behavior and how we ascribe human values onto animals, and we try to understand them through a human lens, but that doesn't always work. And it was a very bizarre, interesting, amazing book. I loved it. It's one of my favorite works of nonfiction, taught me things about animals that I had never read before, and I read a lot of random animal stuff. One of the really cool things in the book was a section about eels and how eels are a very mysterious creature. We don't really know how they reproduce. We have not seen them reproduce, and it made me very interested in eels. much like I then found out much of the world and a good portion of the zoological community. So a book that had been recommended or showed up on a lot of lists and potentially was even a recommendation like in the footnotes of this book is a book called The Book of Eels. And it's just about our fascination with this creature, what we do and what we do not know about them. It's a very slim little volume of nonfiction, and I think it might be, in the way of H is for Hawk, kind of partial memoir and partial exploration of an animal. So hopefully I will enjoy The Book of Eels. It's a very, like I said, a very short little book, and hopefully I can kind of put that in there as nonfiction because I am making ground in kind of gaining on my goal of reading one fiction per month. So hopefully that will help me continue to achieve that goal, and hopefully it'll be a really fascinating book that I can then recommend to people who might be looking for some lighter selections or some nonfiction to weave into their monthly TBRs. But that's it. Those are the books that I want to read in August. Not too many buddy reads to feel inundated by. I always feel like when I'm doing these monthly TBRs that it makes the time just like whoosh past, because I'm doing this August TBR and thinking about fitting all these books in, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, then August will be done and the summer will be over. And in Newfoundland, the summer truly will be over, because in September it really does start to get chilly and we lose a lot of those. There'll be a couple of warm days, but it's certainly not an extended summer like in other parts of the world. But like I said, very excited about many of these books. If you are interested in joining in to read Babel, please let me know below, because I will absolutely turn this into a buddy read if I can. I have been very intrigued by it since RF Kuang did the announcement, and I think that there will be a lot of really cool things to discuss. I think it will be a book that promotes a lot of good discussion. And so if there are any of you out there who would like to read it close to the release date, then please let me know. Otherwise, let me know what you're interested in reading in August, what you're looking forward to, what you're hoping to squeeze in before the summer ends, and I will see you with another video soon. Bye!